Straight up 8:13 on your Thursday morning. It's WHTC Morning News on Holland's Cool FM. And joining us this morning for our regular Thursday conversation is Congressman Bill Huizenga. And it's been a pretty busy week for the Congressman in West Michigan. A Service Academy night in Portage Monday, toured Pfizer on Tuesday, then participated in a roundtable discussion on cryptocurrency in Kalamazoo. So we've got a lot of different topics to cover this morning. But first of all, good morning, Congressman Huizenga. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, good to be with you. And it's strange to hear that high school football is starting already tonight. So it's fall has arrived. There's a little coolness in the air, but this is a beautiful time here in Michigan, isn't it?
Absolutely love it. And Congressman, let's start with Monday night Service Academy night in Portage. For folks who may not be familiar with it, what was the purpose of that event?
Yeah, and we do this annually where we help facilitate bringing the service academies. This is West Point, Navy Academy at Annapolis, the Air Force Academy out in Colorado, but also the Merchant Marine Academy, which is in Kings Point, New York, literally in just outside of Manhattan. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot. It's probably the prettiest spot of any of the academies. The Coast Guard Academy joined us this year as well. And what we do is we get these folks in a room, and we invite high school, usually it's juniors going into their junior year, but sometimes we have kids that are earlier than that, who are interested in learning more and serving their country. And we have the academies speak to them. I talk a little bit about the process that we have to go through. So other than the Coast Guard, which has a direct system of picking their students, everybody else has to have an appointment from a congressional office, either my office or one of the senators' offices. And it's really amazing just seeing these young men and women that are so eager to serve their country. They're smart. They're all they have to be very involved in their communities. They all have to be athletic. It's really quite inspiring to spend a couple of hours with these kids, and certainly gives me hope for the future of our country again when we've got that. So it's really a pretty cool night, and if there's anybody out there that may have a grandchild or a niece or nephew or something like that they think might be interested, have them talk to their school counselor, but they can also go to our website, huizenga.house.gov. This is the official website, and under services, there's a pull down, and we've got a timeline of when they have to apply, so that there's a review from the academies. We do an academy review board. I have a whole series of people in and around the community that some of them are veterans, others have been community leaders, like Amanda Price, who is former elected official here in Ottawa County, Sally Gruppen, who's had family members in the service. She's the vice mayor, Mayor Pro Tem of Zeeland. Like I said, some folks that are connected in with the military or graduated from the academies themselves, and they go through the process of interviewing these young men and women and then give me recommendations on that, and we pass that along. So just want to have this, as school is starting, we know that there are those young men and women who are starting to think about that, and it's some great, phenomenal options. We had a young man from Holland here a couple of years ago who just graduated West Point and is now on his way to Germany. But he wanted to look at engineering. He applied to 3 schools, Purdue, Michigan, and West Point, and got accepted into all 3, and he chose West Point so that he could go and serve his country. And graduate Arthur Brown from Holland Christian a couple of years ago. And it's that kind of quality of young men and women that just really are inspiring.
And from students thinking about their future to, let's transition, one of the major employers in West Michigan. And I mentioned you spent Tuesday touring Pfizer. What did you see there, and what was the purpose of that visit?
Yeah, and actually, interestingly, we yesterday took a tour with some of our staff members of Tommy's Express on the south side of Holland, across from Hayworth, and what we use August for as well is to get our Washington D.C. staff out to the district, where they are coming and learning more and meeting with manufacturers. And kind of the theme this week was, obviously Pfizer with, I think it's 2,400 employees that they have down on the site in Portage, that high-end biotech manufacturing, to Tommy's Express, who just a couple of years ago was in the dozens of employees, and they now are over 600 because of innovation and entrepreneurial spirit and just really good Southwest Michigan hard work. So it's the Pfizer situation was very interesting because they are putting in a massive expansion, and that expansion is actually going to take what is oftentimes a manual process where you have people that are flipping containers of vials over and making sure that things are being sterilized and washed and different things like that, and they're automating it, and they're putting it not completely, but they're putting more automation in, and then they're kind of sealing it off for safety reasons. And this is just like, it's a huge. I can't even describe how it's. I think it's their total acreage down there. The acres, by the way, under roof is like 9 acres. It's 4 million square feet that they have under roof. But just hearing what they're going through and what their expansion is like, and obviously a major employer down in that area, and they were saying they actually have people that drive in from over an hour plus, so they draw from a pretty large area. And then, like I said, having a great visit with the Essenberg family, really another great entrepreneurial family here in Holland, and seeing how vision coupled with hard work really can bring to some great successes. And they're one of the leading car wash, not just car wash owners like we all might think we're going through the car wash. They actually manufacture everything from the soap that they use to all of the metal and all of the construction that happens. That's all done in-house and by them, and that they become a leader in that industry around the country and even internationally. I had no idea that there's a couple of Tommy's internationally, and they're in something like 30 states now. So it was pretty cool to be able to then take some of our staff, young staff, who most of them are from here in West Michigan, but we've got a couple of folks that didn't grow up here, and just really introducing them to those very fascinating best aspects of, I think, our West Michigan here.
Michigan 4th District Congressman Bill Huizenga joining us every Thursday morning on WHTC Morning News. And Congressman, there was another topic Tuesday that sounds a bit different, cryptocurrency, and you participated in a crypto roundtable in Kalamazoo. And for the average person who may hear crypto and think Bitcoin and really not much beyond that, what was the focus of this discussion?
Yeah, and certainly Bitcoin is part of it, and the idea of this is there's a group called Stand with Crypto that goes into communities, and they utilize folks and really expose folks that are using crypto technology, and it's really more about the technology than it is about one specific quote unquote Bitcoin, and really was fascinating hearing people out of Southwest Michigan, just hearing what their view of the future of this technology is. And part of the point was, people may say, well, I don't own any Bitcoin. And frankly, I don't own any Bitcoin, never have. But that doesn't mean we're not being affected by the technology that supports that. And that's where we are seeing the speed and efficiency that's being introduced into financial systems, for example, and how that benefits small retailers. We had a small restaurateur who's got 2 restaurants in Kalamazoo who was a part of this, and he's looking at, okay, how do I instead of doing a traditional credit card swipe, how can I look at utilizing crypto to have basically instantaneous exchanges of money that happen, not waiting to reconcile, not paying a large fee into a credit card company, for example, those kinds of things. How does that drive efficiency into a retail operation? How does it drive efficiency into the banking system and real estate system and insurance? We had one guy, very young, entrepreneurial, very, very smart young man who here I sound like the old guy, young man, but yeah, he's you know the feeling, Dan.
Yep.
I know you do. But he's developed this system that he's working with the Department of Defense that is looking to track computer chips and having making sure that there isn't a black market going in for this. This is all coming out of Southwest Michigan and Michigan here, and that backbone of what we do, of building things, of manufacturing things, going back to the automobile, the advent of the automobile, still is alive and well in Michigan. We just need to make sure that it is talked about and exposed, and so it's kind of, this week was an interesting one, seeing a cutting-edge manufacturing, talking about what the future is going to look like. We're in the next couple of days, the Hudsonville Fair is going on. We're going to be going and talking with people regarding agriculture and what's happening in that arena as well. And so a good week, a busy week, but this is why we have these August work periods, is to come back home and make sure that we are spending time in and around the community.
Congressman, let's wrap it up with this, kind of bringing it all back home. You've had 3 very different events this week, as you mentioned. Is there a common thread for you in all of that when you think about the future of West Michigan?
Yeah, look, a lot of people are worried about the future of Michigan and where are we going, and are we going to be able to preserve what we have? Are we going to be able to grow it? And, affordability is obviously a big question, whether you are that Joey who is the restaurateur with 2 small restaurants down in Kalamazoo, or whether you're Pfizer who has to look at, okay, how are my employees going to own a home? Where are they going to commute from? All those things. And but they're looking for an atmosphere, not to guarantee them success, but to give them the opportunity to go succeed. And that's really, I think, what the responsibility is of those of us that are policymakers, is to help create the atmosphere, whether it's local and you're a local official, whether it's at the state level like I was at one point, or whether it's at the national level. It's about creating the atmosphere that's going to allow people to thrive and to have hope for the future. And that's what we keep continuing to push.
Congressman Bill Huizenga joining us this morning for our Thursday conversation. Congressman, thanks again for your time. We certainly appreciate the update on what's happening here in West Michigan, and we look forward to our chat next Thursday.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan.